So as the story continues, after the case manager, well, wasn't the case manager at the time, married the individual, they had to go through a battle for their child, because at the time when they were doing all this stuff, they had a child, and they had taken the child and abandoned the boy with a former classmate and her brother, who was a boyfriend, who decided not to be in the parental role and kind of just abandoned her and the child and went out to go party with his buddies. He's like, yeah, I don't want to be a dad. I changed my mind, because he kind of was stepping into that role. He said, now I want to go back and party. He made that decision. He was out with his buddies. They were drinking and driving. I mean, not like the same day or nothing, but over time. And the driver fell asleep at the wheel. They got into a vehicle roll, and he was paralyzed as a result of that accident. So then he kind of wanted her back, and then he wanted to reestablish his relationship with her son. So his sister was a social worker for Child Protective Services, and that's how they met. The respondent in this court debacle here was a student at San Diego State for criminal justice, and the other person was at San Diego State for social worker. And so that's how they met. So that social worker with her paralyzed brother, when all this stuff was going on, the DUIs and the drug dealing, she had abandoned her child with these people, and they were saying, hey, we need guardianship because we want to put him under our medical because he has epilepsy. He's having epileptic seizures, and that could, after the research I have done since I filed to dissolve this, I started looking into, I found pictures that were dated around the time that the child was in her body, and I started doing the math. I'm like, wait a second, was she drinking with the child? Then I started doing some research that in certain stages of pregnancy, binge drinking can cause epilepsy, because I never understood. I was never really given an explanation as to why her son had epilepsy, or if there was any connection genetically or anything. It was just never really discussed. And so I had to start questioning, was the epilepsy because of the drinking while carrying the child? And so he's suffering with epilepsy as a young boy, and these people were like, hey, we have your child, we're happy to take care of him, but we needed to make some decisions about his education and add him to our Kaiser, to her Kaiser, the social worker, but we can't do that without guardianship. And so they requested that from the respondent in this matter, and she just flat out was saying no. And so when they found out that she was locked up for the DUIs doing her time, and that she had been arrested for the drug charges and the guns with this guy, they went and filed for guardianship, and they got it. They got temporary guardianship that eventually rolled over into permanent guardianship. And so when I met her in 2011, I was in Sonoma County, in the city of Sonoma, and she was in San Diego. She would come up to visit me. I fell for her head over heels. You know, it was really impressive to me that she would work all day and then drive all the way to come see me. How can you not fall for somebody that has that kind of drive? So yeah, that was the foundation. And so she was fighting in probate court for her son, so she couldn't leave San Diego. So I uprooted. I had the benefit of being a veteran, and so I was given help through the VASH program. And I was a full-time college student over at Santa Rosa Junior College. So I was able to uplift myself from Sonoma County and go to San Diego to be there with her. And I flew her up here, picked her up in a limo at SFO. We went and got the rental truck, the U-Haul, packed up all my stuff in Sonoma County, and then we're on our way to San Diego. And my Army brothers in Lancaster, they had it all set up at the house for me to propose, and that's what I did. So I proposed on the way to San Diego, and she said yes. And not long after living in San Diego, she was pregnant, and so we were happy. It wasn't an accident, it was intentional. It was a decision we both made. And so we were there. I continued going